Before this message begins, I need you to do one thing. Do not scroll away. Do not convince yourself that this message is meant for someone else. Because if today has left you feeling exhausted, disappointed, or wondering why nothing seems to be working no matter how hard you try, then what you are about to hear may be exactly what your heart has been waiting for. Maybe today you smiled while hiding the weight you have been carrying. Maybe you watched someone else succeed while quietly questioning your own worth. Maybe you blamed yourself for a door that closed, a dream that slipped away, or a prayer that seemed to disappear into silence. You told yourself that you should have tried harder. You should have been smarter. You should have been stronger. You believed that today's failure was proof that you were not enough. But what if everything you believe about today is wrong? What if your greatest disappointment is not evidence that God has abandoned you, but evidence that He is protecting you from something you cannot yet see? What if heaven is working in ways your human eyes are simply unable to understand? Stay with me until the end of this message. Because before these next few minutes are over, you may discover that the day you called a failure was never a failure in God's eyes. It was the beginning of something your future self will one day thank Him for. Welcome to Miracle Daily. This is a place where weary hearts find hope, where faith grows stronger, and where God's promises speak louder than fear. If these messages encourage your walk with God, consider subscribing and becoming part of our Miracle Daily family, so you never miss the encouragement God may have prepared for you. Now, take a slow breath, quiet the noise around you, open your heart, and listen carefully. Because today, God wants to speak directly to you. My child, I know what happened today. Before anyone else noticed the silence in your heart, I noticed it. Before you wiped away the tears that never reached your eyes, I saw them. Before you whispered to yourself that perhaps you were not good enough, I heard every word. You believe today was another reminder that you have fallen behind. You watched opportunities disappear. You waited for the phone call that never came. You hoped someone would recognize your effort, yet your work went unseen. You prayed for an answer, but all you seemed to receive was another closed door. Tonight, you are carrying questions that no one around you can answer. You keep asking yourself, what did I do wrong? You replay every decision, every conversation, every mistake. You search your memories, hoping to find the exact moment everything began to fall apart. Then, a dangerous thought quietly enters your heart. Maybe it really is my fault. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe everyone else is moving forward because they are stronger, wiser, or more deserving than I am. My child, listen to me carefully. Do not let that lie take root inside your heart. The world is quick to measure people by visible success. It celebrates those who arrive first. It applauds those who never seem to stumble. It tells you that if something did not happen according to your plans, then you must have failed. But my kingdom has never measured people the way the world does. I have never looked at your life through the narrow lens of achievements, wealth, titles, or applause. I look at your heart. I see every moment you chose kindness when bitterness seemed easier. I see every quiet prayer you offered when no one else believed you were still holding on. I see every morning you got out of bed, even though your soul felt exhausted. I see every act of faith that no human being applauded. Nothing you have done in love has ever escaped my attention. Nothing. You may think today ended in failure because you cannot yet see the purpose behind what happened. But there is a difference between a delay and a denial. There is a difference between protection and punishment. There is a difference between my silence and my absence. Never confuse one for the other. Think about a seed hidden beneath the soil. If someone had never seen a garden before, they might believe that seed had disappeared forever. They would see only darkness, only dirt, only stillness. They would never imagine that beneath the surface, something extraordinary was already taking place. The seed is not dead. It is preparing. It is changing. It is growing in places invisible to human eyes. Its roots are stretching before its leaves ever appear. Its foundation is becoming stronger long before anyone celebrates its beauty. My child, many seasons of your life have looked exactly like that seed. You have mistaken hidden growth for complete failure. You have mistaken waiting for abandonment. You have mistaken preparation for rejection. But I have never stopped working. Not for a single moment. Even during the days when you believed heaven had become silent, my hands were still shaping tomorrow. There are blessings you asked me for that arrived differently than you expected. There are dangers I protected you from that you will never know existed. There are roads I refused to let you walk because I could already see where they ended. You judged the closed door. I saw the disaster behind it. You mourned the opportunity that disappeared. I saw the pain it would have brought into your life. You believed someone else's success meant your story had been forgotten. I knew your story required a different path. Do not compare your journey with people whose battles you cannot see. Every life unfolds according to a purpose that cannot be measured by calendars or comparisons. Some flowers bloom in early spring. Others bloom after the longest winter. Neither has been forgotten by the one who created them. My child, I have never once looked at you and called you a failure. Those words have never come from me. When Adam hid in the garden after he had sinned, my first question was not spoken with hatred. It was spoken with love. Where are you? Not because I had lost him, because I wanted him to return to me. That is still my heart today. I am not searching for reasons to condemn you. I am inviting you to come closer. You do not have to earn my love by collecting victories. You do not have to prove your worth before I choose to stay beside you. I chose you long before your greatest success. I remained with you through your deepest disappointment, and I will still be holding your hand long after this painful season has passed. Perhaps today ended with tears. Perhaps your plans collapsed without warning. Perhaps someone walked away. Perhaps you feel embarrassed because everything you worked for seemed to disappear overnight. Even now, I want you to hear my voice above every fearful thought. Your circumstances may have changed today. My love for you did not. Your confidence may have been shaken. My promises were not. Your strength may feel small. My power has never diminished. So before you allow this day to become the story you tell yourself for the rest of your life, let me ask you one simple question. What if today was never meant to define you? What if it was only preparing your heart for something you cannot yet imagine? The hardest moments of your life have a way of speaking louder than the quiet truth I have placed inside your heart. One disappointing phone call can make you forget years of faithfulness. One broken relationship can convince you that you are impossible to love. One unanswered prayer can tempt you to believe that heaven has become distant. One failure can make you question everything you thought I had promised. That is how fear works. It takes a single moment and tries to rewrite your entire story. But fear has never been the author of your life. I am, my child. If you could see your life from where I stand, you would stop calling every setback a disaster. You would see how many times I gently redirected your steps when you were walking towards something that would have wounded your spirit. You would see the conversations that never happened because I protected you. You would see the opportunities that disappeared because they carried hidden burdens. You would see the people who left because they were never meant to walk into your future. You only see what was taken away. I also see what was preserved. Sometimes my greatest miracles are the ones you never recognize, not because they were too small, but because they happened quietly. The accident that never occurred, the betrayal that never reached you, the decision you almost made but somehow changed at the last moment, the place you almost went, the words you almost spoke, the path you almost followed. Do you think those moments happened by chance? No, my child. My hand has been upon your life more times than you could ever count. Even on the days you doubted me. Even on the nights you cried yourself to sleep. Even when you stopped expecting anything good to happen. I never stopped watching over you. Remember the shepherd who leaves 99 sheep to search for one that has wandered away. Many people focus on the sheep that was lost. I want you to notice the heart of the shepherd. He did not wait for the sheep to find its own way home. He went looking. That is what I have always done for my children. When you feel weak, I come closer. When you feel forgotten, I remain beside you. When you cannot find the strength to call my name, I am already whispering yours. You have believed that I only celebrate your victories. That is not who I am. I am with you in hospital rooms. I am with you during sleepless nights. I am with you when the bills continue to pile up. I am with you when another interview ends without the answer you hoped for. I am with you when your heart breaks because someone you trusted chose to leave. I am with you when your own thoughts become your greatest enemy. There has never been a single day when my presence depended on your success. If that were true, no one could stand before me. Every person you admire in Scripture experienced moments that looked like failure. Not because I had abandoned them, because I was shaping them. The shaping is rarely comfortable. A potter does not create a beautiful vessel by simply admiring the clay. The clay is pressed. It is turned. It is reshaped again and again. Sometimes what feels like pressure is actually purpose taking form. You have been asking me to change your circumstances. Sometimes I first choose to strengthen your heart, because a blessing without wisdom becomes a burden. Success without humility becomes pride. Influence without character becomes destruction. I care far more about who you are becoming than how quickly you arrive. That truth is difficult to accept in a world that rewards speed. Everyone seems to be racing. Everyone appears to have their lives together. Social media shows smiling faces but hides sleepless nights. It displays achievements, but rarely reveals the sacrifices. It celebrates victories while concealing the private battles. Never compare your private struggles with someone else's public highlights. Only I know the complete story of every life. Only I know what each heart carries after the cameras are gone. My child, you have spent too much time believing that your value depends on what you accomplish. That burden was never yours to carry. Your value was settled the moment I formed you with love, before you earned a paycheck, before you achieved a goal, before anyone applauded your success, before anyone rejected you. You were already precious in my sight. Nothing that happened today has changed that truth. Nothing ever will. My child, there is something I need you to understand before you carry yesterday's disappointment into another sunrise. Not every battle is visible. Not every victory can be measured. Not every loss is truly a loss. You have spent so much time looking at what happened around you that you have forgotten to ask what is happening within you. You see the closed door. I see the heart that is learning to trust. You see the broken plan. I see the wisdom that is quietly growing. You see another delay. I see a foundation becoming strong enough to support the blessing you have been praying for. The greatest battles in your life are rarely fought in front of crowds. They are fought inside your thoughts. They are fought during the quiet moments when no one is watching. They are fought when hope and fear both stand before you, asking which voice you will believe. The enemy does not always need to destroy your future. Sometimes he only needs to convince you to surrender before you reach it. That is why discouragement can be so dangerous. It whispers that nothing will ever change. It tells you that praying is useless. It tells you that trying again will only bring more pain. It tells you that everyone else has been chosen except you. But listen carefully, my child. Those voices have never come from me. I do not speak through hopelessness. I do not speak through shame. I do not speak through despair. When I speak, I remind you of who you are, not who your fears claim you to be. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not beyond redemption. You are not too broken for me to restore. You are my beloved child. There is a reason storms often seem stronger just before the sky begins to clear. Darkness always tries to convince you that morning will never come. Yet every sunrise proves darkness wrong. In the same way, there are seasons when your faith is being tested, not because I enjoy watching you struggle, but because faith becomes strongest when it learns to stand without immediate answers. If every prayer were answered the moment you spoke it, trust would never have the chance to grow. If every path were smooth, courage would remain undeveloped. If every dream arrived instantly, patience would never produce its beautiful work inside your heart. You often ask me why life feels unfair. The better question is this: what is my Father teaching me through this moment? That question changes everything. It shifts your eyes away from temporary pain and toward eternal purpose. Think of Joseph. As a young man, he received dreams that seemed filled with hope. Then everything collapsed. He was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, forgotten in prison. If someone had looked only at those chapters of his life, they would have called him a failure. They would have said his dreams had died. But I never forgot the dreams I placed within his heart. Every difficult season was preparing him for a responsibility far greater than he could imagine. The prison was not the end of Joseph's story. It became part of the path that led him to the palace. What looked like rejection became preparation. What looked like delay became divine timing. My child, your life may feel more like a prison than a palace today. Do not believe that where you are is where you will always remain. I can open doors no human being has the power to unlock. I can create opportunities where none appear to exist. I can restore years that seem permanently lost. Nothing is impossible for me. Perhaps you have been asking why I have not moved more quickly. The answer is not because I have forgotten you. The answer is because I see everything at once. You see today. I see your entire lifetime. You see one chapter. I already know the final page. You judge your story before it is finished. I never do. Imagine reading only one page from a great book. If that page contained sorrow, you might believe the whole story was hopeless. But the author already knows how every chapter connects. My child, I am the author of your life. Trust me enough to let me finish writing what I have begun. There are blessings that would have destroyed you if they had arrived too early. There are responsibilities that required greater wisdom than you possessed a year ago. There are prayers I answered by saying no, because my no was protecting the yes that was still ahead. You have mistaken my patience for my absence. You have mistaken my silence for indifference. But my silence has often been the quiet workshop where miracles were already taking shape. The tree that stands through the fiercest storms is not the one that grew the fastest. It is the one whose roots reached deepest before anyone noticed its strength. That is what I have been doing in your life. While you were asking me to make you successful, I was making you steadfast. While you were asking me to remove every hardship, I was building a faith that hardship could never destroy. The world admires people who never seem to fall. Heaven rejoices over people who continue trusting me every time they rise again. My child, there are moments when you wonder if I hear your prayers at all. You kneel beside your bed. You whisper my name. You ask for direction. You ask for peace. You ask for one clear sign that I am still with you. Then the room remains quiet. The circumstances remain unchanged. Another day passes. Another week. Perhaps even another year. You begin to believe that silence means I have turned away. But my silence has never meant my absence. A loving father does not stop loving his child simply because he is quietly preparing something the child cannot yet understand. There are seasons when I speak through words. There are seasons when I speak through waiting. Both are expressions of my love. Waiting teaches you to lean on me instead of your own understanding. Waiting reveals what truly lives inside your heart. Waiting strengthens your faith until it becomes something that circumstances can no longer shake. Look at David before he became king. He was anointed long before he wore a crown. Between the promise and its fulfillment came years of uncertainty, years of hiding, years of running, years when it would have been easy to assume that my promise had failed. But my promise had not failed. It was unfolding one faithful step at a time. Had David become king too soon, he would not have possessed the humility, wisdom, and dependence upon me that his calling required. The waiting was never wasted. Neither is yours. Do not despise the season you are living in, simply because it looks ordinary. Some of my greatest works begin in places the world overlooks. A shepherd's field, a quiet prison, a wilderness, a small stable, a lonely cross. The world often searches for greatness in places of comfort. I have always been able to bring greatness out of places of surrender. That is why I ask you not to lose heart. Do not allow temporary pain to convince you that eternal hope has disappeared. The enemy wants you to focus only on what you have lost. I invite you to notice what still remains. You still have breath. You still have purpose. You still have the ability to love. You still have the opportunity to forgive. You still have tomorrow, a gift that many people wished they could receive. As long as I have given you another day, your story is still being written. You may not recognize every brushstroke, but I already see the completed masterpiece. One day, you will look back and understand why certain doors never opened. You will understand why certain relationships ended. You will understand why some prayers were answered differently than you expected. You will discover that I was never standing against you. I was standing in front of you, shielding you from what would have broken you. So do not measure my faithfulness by today's circumstances. Measure it by my unchanging character. I have been faithful through every generation. I have never abandoned those who place their trust in me. I will not begin with you. When you feel weak, come to me. When you feel confused, come to me. When you feel ashamed, come to me. When you feel like giving up, come to me. Do not wait until you think you are strong enough. Come exactly as you are. I have never asked you to carry tomorrow by yourself. I have only asked you to trust me today. One faithful step, one honest prayer, one act of obedience. That is enough. Because when you place even your smallest step into my hands, I am already preparing the road beneath your feet. My child, if you are still breathing at this very moment, then let this truth settle deeply within your heart. I have not finished what I started in you. The disappointment you experienced is not the conclusion of your story. It is only one page in a book that I am still writing. Lift your eyes, strengthen your heart, walk forward with quiet confidence. Not because every answer has already arrived, but because the one who walks beside you has never failed. My child, I know you are tired. Not the kind of tired that disappears after a good night's sleep. The kind of tired that settles deep inside your soul. The kind that comes from carrying invisible burdens for far too long. You have spent months pretending that everything is fine. You smiled when people asked how you were doing. You said you were okay because explaining the truth felt too exhausting. You became so accustomed to carrying your pain alone that you almost forgot what it feels like to lay it down. But you do not have to carry it any longer. Give it to me. Not tomorrow. Not when you finally have everything figured out. Now. There is nothing you could place into my hands that is too heavy for me. Nothing too broken for me to restore. Nothing too complicated for my wisdom. Nothing too late for my grace. You have believed that because you failed, your future has become smaller. But I want you to remember something. Failure has never had the final word when my hands are involved. People may close doors. I can open new ones. People may reject you. I never will. People may misunderstand your heart. I know every thought before you speak it. You fear that the opportunities you lost will never return. Perhaps they will not, because I am not preparing to give you yesterday back. I am preparing something that belongs to tomorrow. Do not spend your strength trying to resurrect seasons that I have already completed. There are chapters that needed to end, so new chapters could begin. There are dreams that needed to fall apart, because they were built upon expectations instead of purpose. Trust me enough to release what I have already asked you to leave behind. You cannot receive with open hands while you are still clinging to what I have gently removed. My child, forgiveness is one of the greatest gifts I have placed within your reach. Not because those who hurt you deserve it, but because your heart deserves freedom. Bitterness feels powerful for a moment, then it quietly becomes a prison. Forgiveness unlocks the door. It does not erase what happened. It prevents yesterday from stealing tomorrow. Perhaps someone betrayed your trust. Perhaps someone spoke words that wounded your confidence. Perhaps someone convinced you that you would never become anything meaningful. Those voices are not my voice. I have never spoken death over the life I created. I speak hope. I speak truth. I speak life. Whenever you hear a voice telling you that you are worthless, remember this. I loved you enough to send my son for you. That truth alone determines your value. Not your income, not your education, not your popularity, not your past, not the mistakes you continue to regret. Your worth has always rested in my love. Nothing on earth has the authority to change that. Some of you listening today have stopped dreaming because disappointment became too familiar. You no longer ask me for great things. You simply ask me to help you survive another day. Even that prayer reaches my heart. I hear every whispered cry. I collect every tear. I know every silent battle. You have never suffered alone. Even when you could not feel my presence never left you. There were nights when you believed no one understood your pain. I understood. There were mornings when getting out of bed required more courage than anyone realized. I saw it. There were moments when you smiled while your heart quietly broke inside. I noticed. Nothing about your life has ever escaped my attention. The world often notices people only after they succeed. I have been watching over you since before your first breath. I loved you before anyone knew your name. I chose you before anyone recognized your gifts. That is why your identity can never depend upon human approval. People change. Opinions change. Circumstances change. My love does not. When you stand upon my promises instead of public opinion, you discover a peace that failure cannot steal. You discover a confidence that rejection cannot destroy. You discover a hope that disappointment cannot silence. Do not wait until every fear disappears before taking your next step. Courage has never meant the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to trust me while fear still whispers. Take the next step. Not because you know exactly where it will lead. Take it because I am walking beside you. If I have called you forward, I will never abandon you halfway through the journey. The same hand that carried you yesterday will carry you tomorrow. The same grace that sustained you through every painful season will continue to sustain you until the day you see the beauty I have been creating all along. So lift your head, my child, not because life has suddenly become easy. Lift your head because I am still God. I am still faithful. I am still working. And I am still writing a story that my love will finish with hope. My child, one day you will look back on this season with different eyes. The tears that seem endless today will no longer speak of defeat. They will remind you of the place where your faith became stronger than your fear. You will remember the nights you thought you would never survive. You will remember the mornings when hope felt impossible to find. You will remember the prayers that seemed to disappear into silence. Then you will realize something that is difficult to understand today. I never left you. Not once. I was there when you cried in a room where no one else could hear. I was there when anxiety kept you awake long after midnight. I was there when you questioned your purpose. I was there when you doubted your future. I was there when you wondered whether anyone truly cared. Every moment you believed you were walking alone, my hand was still holding yours, even when you could not feel it. Faith has never been about seeing every step ahead. Faith is trusting the one who already knows where every step will lead. You have asked me to show you the entire journey. Instead, I have given you enough light for the next step. That is how trust grows. Not by knowing everything, but by believing the one who does. Do not be afraid of tomorrow. Tomorrow has never been outside my reach. The same God who carried you through every yesterday is already waiting for you there. Nothing you will face has taken me by surprise. No challenge is greater than my wisdom. No wound is deeper than my healing. No darkness is stronger than my light. There is still joy ahead of you. There is still laughter waiting to return to your home. There are still prayers that will become testimonies. There are still dreams that will awaken again. There are still friendships that will strengthen your heart. There are still moments of peace that will arrive without warning and remind you that I have been faithful all along. Do not close your heart because one season was painful. Winter has never been the end of creation. Spring always follows in its appointed time. So it is with your life. This season is not your identity. This pain is not your destiny. This disappointment is not your permanent home. You belong to hope. You belong to grace. You belong to the God who makes all things new. If you have fallen, stand again. If you are weary, rest in my presence. If you are uncertain, keep walking with me. If your heart is broken, let me heal what no one else can reach. Never believe the lie that it is too late. As long as I have placed breath in your lungs, purpose still lives within you. Your story is still unfolding. Your calling has not been canceled. Your future has not been stolen. The best chapters of your life are not determined by the mistakes behind you. They are shaped by the faith you choose today. So release the guilt you were never meant to carry. Release the shame that I already paid for. Release the fear that has kept you standing still. Open your hands. Open your heart. Receive the peace I freely give. Walk forward, knowing that you do not walk alone. Walk forward, knowing that your value has never depended on your success. Walk forward, knowing that even when the road becomes difficult, I will never ask you to travel it without me. And whenever the voice of failure tries to return, remember what I am telling you right now. You were never defined by your worst day. You were never abandoned in your darkest hour. 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 You are richer than your losses, because my presence is your greatest treasure. You are never alone, because I have promised to remain with you always. So tonight, lay your worries down. Release every burden that has been weighing upon your heart. Let tomorrow belong to me. Rest, my child. Not because every problem has disappeared. Rest because I am already working in places your eyes cannot yet see. Rest because my promises have never failed. Rest because my love has never changed. Rest because I am still writing a beautiful story with your life. And when the day comes that you finally see everything I was doing behind the scenes, you will not remember this season as the moment your life fell apart. You will remember it as the moment my grace quietly led you toward the life I had prepared for you from the very beginning. May my peace guard your heart. May my wisdom guide your steps. May my strength carry you when your own strength is gone. May my love remind you every single day that you have never walked this journey alone. I am with you today. I will be with you tomorrow, and I will never leave you.